guests have been hunting ghosts and the supernatural together since 6 years ago when they met.
Yeah. But when Brian Sterling-Vete and Helen Wuorio, right?
That's right.
Excellent. Adopted the Greyhound called Bolton in 2019, their ghost-busting mission became even more successful.
And it all sounds very interesting, and the trio join us now. Good morning to both of you.
Welcome.
So, as we said before, you've been, investigating the paranormal for quite a while. So when did Bond become part of this team?
Well, it's kind of interesting. More or less as soon as he arrived, we noticed, actually my wife noticed, that I'd left the room and he was paying attention and interacting with something that wasn't there up on the wall. Yeah. And you've heard stories about this, dogs all of a sudden get transfixed and they see something on the wall that we can't see. And that's really how it all started. She called me in and, well, you can tell the story.
Yeah, he left the room. So then he put his paws on the chair and started interacting with something on the wall. And so we live in a flat that used to be his mom's, so I kind of think that it was maybe his mother that was interacting with him because his mom was passed a few years ago.
It was my mother's favourite picture.
So, yeah, so he was interacting with that as if it was a person.
I was going to say, because if you suddenly find that then you think there's something paranormal in your house, you would normally be quite scared by that, but you...
No.
No, we weren't
Oh,
faced
no.
that.
No,
Didn't feel bad or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you get a vibe sometimes when you are investigating, if it's a spirit that's settled and happy, or if it's a spirit that died in not particularly nice way? And then
I'm not particularly sensitive. I'm probably as sensitive as a house brick in that respect sometimes. But Helen really is. She's got psychic abilities. I hate to use that term because it's a pretty broad term. People often laugh at that. But she does have abilities, and she sees visions, don't you?
Yeah, it's probably not a vision in the typical senses. I see a picture flashes in my brain, and then a few days later, it comes true. And it's happened throughout my life. And now, anytime we do an investigation, I do a meditation before to see if something flashes in my head.
So when you are doing investigations now, what part does Bond play? How does it work?
Okay, so...
Well, Bond is like...
Yeah.
Normally what a group does, they use electronic equipment, cameras, sensing devices and all sorts. When you think about it, a dog has got all these enhanced senses, all wrapped up into 4 paws and a waggly tail.
Yeah.
So he can see things. He's got something like 5 times better vision, 10,000 times better sense of smell, fantastic hearing, plus possibly a 6th sense because they have brainwaves similar to small children operating in the theta and alpha bandwidth. So just as small children are often reported as seeing strange things, dogs can probably do the same thing too.
Because he's a sight hound, do you think that makes a difference at all?
It really does for hunting in shadows, and certainly I think on investigations. See, we're not traditionally so much an investigation group. We operate mostly as Paranormal Rescue these days.
What does that mean?
Which, it's more like, imagine Thunderbirds International Rescue meets the Equalizer and Scooby-Doo. I know.
Where do we join?
I love it. I want to join.
Yeah, you've got to walk like that with strings.
Yes,
It's like,
yes.
But we get calls from people quite a lot who have problems. So we don't go looking for paranormal entities or researching so much. We still do occasionally, but we predominantly get calls from people who have trouble and try and help them find solutions.
I think it's pretty safe to say that our studio feels quite settled.
Is he always this chilled out normally then?
Normally, yes. So when he does start whining or growling or something, then you know.
So can we safely say our studio is not haunted?
He had a little look round earlier.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, having a little look round. Did he spot anything?
Spent a lot of time in the kitchen.
He was very keen on that bit. He's sensing something.
Well, do you know, when he was literally over there, he was staring at the kitchen.
There was something there.
He wasn't looking at me. He was staring to the left of me. And I was like, what is he looking at?
Wasn't food that.
No,
was
and
a
it was
different kind
down
of
low.
stare.
There was something he was
There's
looking
something in our kitchen, Dermot.
What
What about our green room there? He's in our green room. Did he spot anything there?
No, the green room was fine.
2 sofas, happy with that.
Tell us about the first experience in the police station that he actually went and investigated. Tell us about that.
So that one, Brian was still getting all of our equipment out, and I thought I'd take Bond in just through a dry run through the police station. We went through the courtroom, and he was chasing something up and down the aisles that I couldn't see, and he dragged me down the stairs, ended up in the jail cell, and then he was kind of gasping for breath. And I got quite scared, so I took him out.
Well, he couldn't breathe?
He couldn't breathe. So I took him outside so he could catch his breath, gave him some water. Luckily, he was okay. That was probably the scariest moment of the 6 years we've been investigating.
And then what did you find?
Well, the interesting thing was in those jail cells, there were 2 suicides that had taken place many, many years ago, probably by hanging. So he started to react to something. And all through the investigation that night, he was growling. And, you know, he's chilled. You can see him. He's normally in this sort of semi-comatose state, but he would not go back in those jail cells.
He's such a chill dog. I love him. What about Scotland? What happened in Scotland?
So Scotland, that's when things... so when you're not least expecting it is when things happen. So I had taken him out for his last walk of the evening and just walking around the field at our friend's house.
Yeah.
And he... well, I noticed out of the corner of my eye a shadow figure, and I thought, oh my goodness, maybe I'm crazy. But then he noticed it too. So then I thought, oh gosh, something's here. Someone's here. But there was nobody there. So we had both seen it. He was dragging me to the apple tree. And the apple tree, ever since we had gotten to our friend's house, he was fixated on this apple tree. And our friend that we were visiting, her husband had died tragically very recently, and that was like his favorite tree. So we were kind of wondering if that correlated with that. So
an amazing dog. It's so lovely to meet Bond. Absolutely lovely. And lovely to meet yourself.
You too.
Fascinating story. Yeah.
Thanks, Bond.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.